Hey everybody, got a really cool training today. Um, Let me know that you all can hear me. That's important. Do a thumbs up or heart or tell me. Say, yes, Kate, I can hear you. Let's see. Just want to make sure people can hear me before I dive into this very powerful topic. Okay, Michelle, Lynn, you guys can hear me loud? Am I clear? Okay, cool. So hello, everybody. Welcome. I've got a really cool training for everybody today. And let me know who's here. Let me know where you're from. And you might even want to have a pen and paper because it's, I've got my notes here too that I put together. So if you're new to me, my training, I'm Kate Beaters. I'm your breakthrough success expert. And what I'm going to talk about today is charging what you're worth, which if that's a topic that resonates with you, give me some hearts, some likes, things like that. Let me know it's an important topic to you. Or if you're not an entrepreneur, maybe it's being able to ask for what you're worth, for your salary. So let me know that y'all can, that's important. Hearts, likes, things like that, if it's an important topic to you. Let's see, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, alrighty, thank you. Just want to make sure everyone's got it. Okay, so I saw this quote the other day, and I put my glasses on for a little bit just so I can see my notes. And this quote was actually by Oprah, and it said, "When you undervalue what you do, the world will undervalue who you are." This is by Oprah. Don't you like that quote? When you undervalue what you do, the world will undervalue who you are. So that's a quote by Oprah, and I thought that is a perfect way to kind of open up today's training. So typically when we talk about charging what you're worth, people think it's all about the money. Like, oh, okay, I'm making $5 an hour, and I'm going to charge 10, or I'm making 50, and I'm going to charge 100, or you're in a salary, I'm making X amount, and I'm going to ask for a 10% raise, and if people think it's something as simple as that, and it is, but really there's so much more to it, and that's what I want to share with you, because if you just go around and just randomly increase your pricing or randomly ask for a raise, you can end up shooting yourself in the foot. And I will try to remember to share a story with you later about somebody who did that, because it's so easy for that to happen to you. So I believe that charging what you're worth is more than just the money, because money is just energy. All we're doing is trading something. So let's say somebody pays me for my coaching service, or they pay to come to one of my events. In turn, I use money and I pay for my mortgage or food at the supermarket, or my girl Callie's food or medical bills, whatever. In turn, the supermarket pays for their food. They pay their employees. I mean, all we're doing is moving money around. That's all we're doing. And yet when we give it so much power, and we make money mean how much we're worth, we're really sabotaging ourselves, and it's really hurting our own value of who we are and how we show up in the world. So I want to give you a little different perspective today as I teach that. And so everybody who's just joining, again, welcome, and please say hi. Let me know where you're from too. So a quick example, I want to teach you about the law of compensation, but there's a quick example I want to share with you first. I worked with a client, and she'd actually been coaching with someone else, and she did VIP days, and the coach said to her, well, you're not charging near enough, you need to charge a lot more. And I think she'd been charging like $750 or something like that for her VIP day, and her coach wanted her to charge $10,000. And she got stuck, and she went into all sorts of panic and all sorts of things. So that's why she started working with me. And what happens is if you don't have all these steps of the law of compensation with you, you're not going to be able to charge more money. So that's why I kind of want to review it with you, so you can understand what you can do to be more successful and what she did to be more successful and be able to charge more for her services. So law of compensation, the way I view it, is it's made up of, I've got six different components for it. So I'm going to share them with you briefly. So the first one is, when you want to charge more money or you want to ask for a raise, one of the first things you have to look at is, competition. How many other people are out there doing what you're doing? So, for example, I get my nails done, and if I go, Where I live, there's like at least one nail salon on every block, in the shopping areas near where I live. And maybe that resonates with some of all of you, that everywhere you go, you see like a ton of nail salons. And I'm just picking on them because that's, everyone will kind of get. Well, it's pretty hard for them to start charging a lot more money compared to everybody else, because if, let's say, everybody's charging, I don't know, $15, they can't all of a sudden go charge $30. It would make it very, very difficult for them. I'm not saying it's impossible, because there are ways to do it, and I teach how to do it, but understand how much competition you have of people who do what you do makes it difficult for you to charge more money or ask for that raise. The second thing is that I want to mention to you under laws of compensation is how replaceable you are. Okay, so using that salon example, if, let's say, they were closed or the person I go to left, even though I like them, it's not going to be the end of my world. I mean, I don't need to. I can go find a zillion other places to get my nails done. However, I know what I've heard from my clients is that I know how much they enjoy working with me. They love the results they get. They love how they're feeling, the abundance they're attracting, and all that. That I would like to think I'm pretty hard for them to replace. So how replaceable are you? Because that has a lot to do with, you being able to ask for more money. So that's number 2. Number 3 is your expertise. So how good are you at doing all this, right? How good are you at this? And expertise, a lot of people kind of confuse and think, oh, I need to get, 10 more certifications and learn this and learn that and all that. And one thing I know about the community I attract is that we're all avid learners. And yeah, I highly encourage that, because learning, anything, whether it's for your business or personal life, is so important. But what I do want to share with you is that it isn't just about getting more certifications, because if you lock that up, you're forever going to be chasing that. And that may be, if you're in the corporate world, that may help you if you've got that MBA or PhD or whatever. That may help you get a corporate position, but it doesn't guarantee you're going to stay there. And the same as an entrepreneur, that it may help you get noticed, but it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get hired. So when you do, as you are working on your expertise, you want to make sure everything is aligned. So that leads me into number 4, which is the results you're getting, right? Because if you aren't getting great results, you're not really worth much. So you can't charge more if your results are lousy. Just plain and simple, right? You've got to be getting really great results to be able to charge more. And people have to be able to understand that. And it isn't just about past, it's also about future results. Oh, good, I'm getting some hearts. And one thing I learned this the hard way, but also the right way, is when I was in corporate, I often asked for raises. And one year I got something like, I don't know, $35,000 in raises. And I just kept asking the boss. And I was lucky. I had a mentor who taught me how to do it. And I kept asking, and he kept giving me more money. It got to the point that he'd see me, and he almost like wanted to open up his wallet, he told me. But it's understanding how do you do all that. So is this making sense to everybody? Can I get some hearts and likes and all that? And Lynn, thank you for the comment that you love learning from me. I so appreciate that. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about charging what you're worth, and I've been talking about the law of compensation, and I've been sharing the first 4 principles the way I teach it. I've got 2 more, and what I want to do is just take a quick little pause for a moment and just tell you about my upcoming event, where I'm going to be diving in deeper, because I know some of you are going to want more information, and how do you do this, and how do you really implement this in your life. And, so it's not just talk, but it's not just abstract, but it actually is tangible how to do that. So my upcoming event is Ask for It Live. And if one of my team members would put the URL in, askforitlive.com, that would be great. And this event actually was born because my mother always taught us, you don't ask, you don't get. And I remember hearing that at a very, very young age, that if you don't ask, you don't get. And one of my favorite examples to share is that when I was in high school, I don't know, 17 years old or something, one of my neighbors asked me to babysit. And that wouldn't be a huge big deal to a lot of you, but understand that this neighbor happened to be president of one of the top colleges in Boston. And in Boston, we are known for having we have more colleges in a small area than anywhere else in the world. And they're all, we got like Harvard and MIT and BC, BU, everybody's there. And he was president very prestigious college. He actually lived down the street with his family, and he called me to babysit. So again, normally that would be such a big deal. However, as a minor, I was 17, I had to ask my parents' permission, to be out at night babysitting. And my mother said to me, square in the eyes, she's like, that's fine, Kate. But remember, he owes you money from the last time you babysat for him. And I was like, okay. And she said, look, you got two choices. You can either say yes and forget about that, or you can stand up for yourself and say, I'm happy to babysit for you, but first you need to pay me for the last time I babysat for you. So that was a really strong lesson. If that story resonates for any of you, please give me some hearts and all that, because as a 17-year-old kid, to have to go walk, first of all, I had to walk down the street to my neighbor's house, the president's house, nonetheless, which is a big, huge, basically like a mansion, and I had to go knocking on his door and ask him, and tell him that, he needed to pay me, whatever it was, like $20 or something, and then I could babysit. But, having been taught that as a child, that was a really solid foundation for me to learn how to stand up for myself, to understand what my worth is, what my value is. And it's helped me have so many major successes in my whole entire life. And that's really what I want to teach you, how to be able to, not just about charging more money, that's just, honest to goodness, that's like the smallest little piece of this whole puzzle, but it's understanding your own value and being able to show up in the world so everything you do is aligned with your value. And one of the ways that happens is having you really start to understand what your brilliance is. And when I talk about brilliance, it isn't just, okay, how smart you are or something like that. Because honestly, if you're watching this, you're probably smart, because I tend to attract smart people. So let's already push that away. But it's more, your brilliance is what you can do that it just automatically happens. It's what feels so totally right, feels aligned. It's when I'm coaching or speaking on a main stage somewhere, or leading an event, and the things I say, I'll be like saying, I hope you wrote that down, or I hope you recorded it, because it just flows. I don't have to think about it. It's just in there, comes out, and that's what it is. Understand we all have brilliance. We all do. We all have different types of brilliance. My brilliance is going to be different than your brilliance. So understand that. But it's helping you really uncover what is your brilliance. Because when you uncover what that really is, then that means you can basically create your whole life, in terms of the opportunities you're involved with, the type of clients or companies you work with, how much money you're making, how you live your life, your vacations, everything is aligned with your brilliance. So that's why it's so critical to be there. So the event is askforitlive.com. And one thing that does make it very different, I want to share with you before I get back into the last two points of the law of compensation, is that you don't just leave with this big, thick binder with tons of notes and your head just kind of going like, oh my gosh, where do I begin? The transformation actually happens while you were at the event. So how does that happen? It's because I happen to be a master in some very, very cool mindset techniques. One of them is tapping, which if you've never experienced is a very, very powerful mindset technique. And if you have experienced it before, but not with me, you're in for a huge treat. It's able to help people release old fears, doubts, old stories, beliefs, all sorts of things. So, for example, using the charging what you're worth as an example, that if you believe, oh no, I can't charge more money because my clients will get mad at me, that kind of thing, or that what I do isn't worth that, we're able to help you shift all that around. And that's through tapping. It's a very, very gentle but very powerful technique. It's changed my life 180 degrees easily. And so you're going to get to experience that. Also, I'm going to be teaching you more laws of attraction, just like I'm teaching you today. Understand the laws of attraction are always out there, but what you want to do is learn how to use it to your benefit, because when you do, that makes you a powerful creator. So I'm going to be teaching you more about the laws of attraction. Also, I'm going to be pulling in some neuroscience, which does not mean understanding the anatomy of your brain. I'm not going to be teaching you like about your amygdala and your dendrites and all that other stuff. But what it does mean is that I'm going to be teaching you some very, very cool techniques to pull in throughout your day that you can easily implement that day or the day you leave. You don't need to take any courses or whatever. I'm going to show you some cool stuff. And as a result, that's going to help you be able to go through your days more focused, have more creativity, be more productive. And what the best benefit I have found and that my clients love is that you feel less stress at the end of the day. And instead of feeling at the end of the day like, I got through it all and now let me go numb myself in front of the TV or Netflix or food or shopping or whatever, instead you're like, you're ready to go and do the next thing because you feel good. You have lots of good energy. You're not burnt out. And the last thing I'm going to be teaching you some very, very cool strategies because I happen to be a master of some pretty powerful strategies. I'm very, very good at it. It's another one of my brilliance. So I'm going to be sharing all that with you too. So I do hope if this feels right to you, you will join us. You'll sign up today for askforitlive.com. Register before we're all sold out. And I would love to see you there when we dive in deep into this topic and so much more. So now I want to get back into the last two principles of law of compensation. So the next one, and this is really, really important, is being aligned with your money. So I mentioned at the beginning of this Facebook Live about the person who tried to charge more for their VIP day and how it didn't work. And that's because she wasn't aligned. So if you ever speak to somebody and let's say that they are, you ask them how much it is and you're having a nice conversation and all of a sudden their voice gets really high or gets squeaky, like it's, to work with me, or they kind of mumble out the words or they say it really fast, it's because they're not comfortable with the money amount. Okay, so if you can't say it and feel really good and feel like you own that amount, whether it's $50 or whether it's 50 million, and you don't feel good about it, you're never going to be able to charge more money. So we are going to be diving into that because often what pops up is guilt, shame, fear, all sorts of other negative emotions. So we're going to have you become more aligned with that. So it really resonates whatever you do decide to charge or ask for. And the last piece is getting to understand your brilliance. Because when you do, and everybody has brilliance, just totally different types of brilliance. When you do, that allows you to be aligned with who you are and the value that you want to ask for. And everybody has this. I believe that everybody was born with brilliance, right? It isn't like you've got to go study what is my brilliance. You might have to finesse it a little bit and tweak it and all that, but you're born with your brilliance, whatever your brilliance might be. But it's learning to get it out and to own it and not be embarrassed or ashamed or think that it's something every day and not understand how it is. Because I want you to understand your own value. I want to help you understand your worth, what you are deserving of. So you stop playing a small game. Because once you open yourself up to that, everything in your world changes. Everything changes. And that's what I want you to experience. So I hope you will join me at askforitlive.com. That's askforitlive.com. And one quick story I just want to share with you, which is another reason I hope you will join me, or for some reason if you can't make the event but you want a private coach with me, reach out to us at info@katebeaters.com. That's info@katebeaters.com. I want to share this one quick example about charging what you're worth, where you'll see what happened. A woman who I hired to help me with a project, which went very well, I asked her to put together a proposal to help me for the next project, which was going to be almost exactly the same, just at a different time. So she sent me back a proposal, and it was about twice as much. So I talked to her, and I understand, obviously I was pleased with what she did, or I wouldn't be talking to her, but I asked her, I said, why is it twice as much? Just help me understand, because everything is the same, like nothing has changed. And she said, well, Kate, you teach charging what you're worth, so I'm charging what I'm worth. I think I'm worth twice as much. And I said, okay, but help me understand why this is double. Just help me understand it. But Kate, I'm charging what I'm worth. And we went kind of round and round. And to kind of fast forward the story, I didn't end up hiring her, but I did end up hiring somebody who actually the proposal was more than her proposal, but I had a clear understanding of what her value was and a clear understanding of what I was paying for. And then I had no problem paying her what she was worth. So I don't want you to just all of a sudden go out and just start raising your prices willy-nilly, because if you don't understand the whole methodology behind it, it's not going to work. And then you fall flat in your face and you go, see, this doesn't work. Should just left it where it was and not bothered and upset anybody. I want you to learn how to do it. I want you to learn how to master it. So hopefully I will get to see you at my event, askforitlive.com. And until we meet again, be brilliant. Bye now.